turn on the bell notification for all of my videos. Today we're gonna be cooking Ropa Vieja. Now Ropa Vieja is a Cuban favorite, and of course I'm gonna be cooking it in the Instapot because I love cooking everything inside of the Instapot. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to put a little bit of olive oil down at the bottom of the Instapot and get that heated up and actually put it on saute. So you just take about this much oil just to kind of coat the bottom and stir it around in there. I like to do that. And we're just going to put the peppers and onions, which I use a cheat. The peppers and onions, the garlic, which I take about half of this bag. So I just use the peeled garlic cloves, and you can cut these up or you don't need to cut them up. I'll take about a handful, just a handful of garlic cloves. And I don't cut them up because guess what? They're gonna turn into mush anyway. So this in the Instapot, and of course you're gonna have some type of, I like these bamboo spoons to kind of stir. Now I have 1 can of Hunt's tomato sauce. Of course I needed the olive oil. We're done with that now. You're going to need El Mundo, or just dry cooking wine. You're gonna need bay leaves, or I couldn't find regular bay leaves, so I got the powder. So we're gonna use about a 1/4 teaspoonful. This is a teaspoon. So I'm just gonna use the little quarter, the little edge of that. You don't need much. You're gonna need Mojo. This is not the regular Mojo that I usually get, but I usually use Goya products. Sazon. This is Sazon, and I use it in literally everything. Okay, this is adobo, Badia adobo, and I put it on. This is a London Broil, or you can use flank steaks, but London Broil is cheaper. Then you're gonna need Cumin, just enough for the taste. This is also a Badia product. Manzanilla Olives, they're just green olives. I use a dash of oregano, just oregano, dried up oregano, and I have Cuban oregano as well. Outside on the porch, I might go grab a couple cloves and a little tiny bit of cayenne pepper. I always rinse my meat first because you never know what they put on the meat. Put this adobo all over the meat here, and you can hear, you just want a slight coating. If you put too much of this, it's gonna come out really, really salty, and you do not want that. Stir it. And it's browning in here. Let me show you. So you see how it's nice and browning. It's starting to brown. I got my beanie on today. So as you're cooking this, I'm gonna put a tiny bit more olive oil. Because olive oil is super good for you. Everybody should use olive oil in their cooking. But I'm going to just drop these pieces of meat in. I do it one at a time, and it just kind of like seals the flavor into the meat. So that way it doesn't get all so dried out and stuff. But The way I cook Ropa Vieja, it'll never come out dry anyways, but just out of my knowledge of cooking, that's what I do. So I put in 2 to 3 packs of sazon into this. Okay, so I decided that I wanted more peppers and onions in it, so I went ahead and I dumped the rest of the bag of onions and peppers in there. And now I'm going to get a little bit of pepper, regular pepper, put a level teaspoon of the pepper in here. Black pepper, just regular black pepper. I'm gonna show you guys again what this is going to look like. And we're also going to add this next one into it. And that's it. I'm gonna put it back in to saute mode. And then I'm gonna add the tomato sauce. So I got an extra can of just little hunts. I got a big one and a little one, just because it's a lot of meat this time. So you're not gonna add the olives until the very end, or else they'll just mush. There we go. I like to just get all of the tomato sauce out of the can. But I use that as a measurement for the cooking wine. We're gonna start out with the sazon. And just like I said, this is going to be a little bit extra sazon. Usually I only use 2, but since we have 2 chunks of meat in there, I'm going to add 3 sazon packages. So you don't want to overdo the cumin. And you see, 1 teaspoon of cumin. And I like to just kind of scatter it around. Now bay leaf is another heavy duty spice, so I'm going to just add a 1/4 teaspoon of the bay leaf. You guys see that? That is going in there. Ooh, what a smell. Now the oregano. The oregano, I'm gonna do a teaspoon of oregano. And a little bit of cayenne pepper. I'd like a little bit of heat. I'm gonna do like a half a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. And this is optional because a lot of people do not like spice. So we like spice. I just wanted to show you guys what the rice looks like now. Because it's finished. I got done pretty quickly. But you see, there's peppers and onions on top of it. Oh my God, I wish I had smell-o-vision because it smells so good. And it's super simple. Salt, rice, water, olive oil, and the peppers and onions, and the sazon packets, 2 sazon packets from Goya. And I don't get to talk to you guys much and give you a little bit of background information on me or a little bit about my personality. So I figured I'd take this time while we still have that much time to, you know, kind of like say hi and get to know you guys. But just like I said, leave it in the comments, what you would like me to cook for you, because I'm like, what am I gonna cook, you know? And everybody is like, I don't know, just cook. And you know, after a while you get kind of bored making up your own ideas for stuff. So I got cold, I went and I put on my onesie. But for this part, you're going to need a couple of forks and a knife. And we're going to start shredding the meat. So, you guys see this? So it should just shred apart like this with the fork. Exactly like this. It's gonna look like this. And then put it back in. Put it back in. If it's cooked enough. Now, if it didn't cook enough, then it's gonna be really hard and it won't come apart so easy. And you're gonna get calluses on your fingers from doing this. But this one is a London Broil, and just like I said, cheaper meat, does same thing, but you can also use a flank steak or any steak that shreds up. I've been noticing lately, you know, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but they seem to be putting more water into the meat. That's why I got 2 chunks of steak. But if you notice, the steak, that big chunk of steak turns into this. Finish shredding it up and added the olives. I'm gonna cook this for a half an hour, and you can serve it over rice or with rice and beans. And there's the rice. So we turn it on for saute, and it was 30 minutes, and I turned it all the way up. So that's just cooking out some of the moisture that's inside of it. Look at that.